right, so what did you figure out is a connection or a distinction between Abraham Lincoln and slavery? Casey. Are those things connected? Is the idea of slavery connected to Abraham Lincoln? Or is there a distinction between Abraham Lincoln and slavery? What do you think?
Our group found that there's a similarity, and it was Abraham Lincoln was attracted to the Republican Party because they had the similar beliefs about slavery.
So, Abraham Lincoln, he liked, this is paraphrase, Republican Party because both hated slavery. So not only was Abraham Lincoln connected to the idea of slavery because he hated it, that also is something that connected Abraham Lincoln to the other group of individuals, the Republican Party. Okay? What if I gave your group these categories, or this category, election of 1860 and South, or the South. I want you to find a way independently that the election of 1860 and the South, either how they have a connection or if there's a distinction between them or both. Go ahead and independently, you're going to need your graphic organizer, you're going to need your article to do this.
What did she say? The election of 1860 in the South. We're going to find out individually.
Independently, you're doing this.
I don't even have my sheet with all the colors on it. Things in there. My sheet with all like.
Looking for the election of 1860 and the South, and either a way that they are connected or a way that that event, there's a distinction between that event and those individuals in the South, or a way that they are connected. I appreciate those of you looking back at your article, trying to figure it out. Alright, who wants to share the election of 1860 and the South, a way that they are connected or a distinction between them? Avery?
Both of them had very polarized views. Like, for some of them, they're like South, and with the election, you're kind of like one way or the other. Like, there was really any in between.
So we're looking for something directly in the article that would tell us that. You're right, but what is something that says that in the article? Jacob?
Lincoln won the deep South with the
So Lincoln is a connection between Lincoln won election of 1860, causing the Deep South to leave the Union. But what is the distinction there too? The election of 1860 in the South, there's a distinction.
The election of 1860, didn't really go with the South's ideas, like they had differences of opinions.
Okay. So Lincoln winning the election went against the ideas of the South. And they had different opinions. I'm just going to draw one more box onto the bottom. And I'm going to compare the Deep South and Upper South. Because I noticed in the article, right down here, it doesn't just talk about the South anymore. It starts saying the Deep South, the Upper South. So I started to notice, and here's my wonderful drawing. Are you ready? It's going to be beautiful. Okay? It's gorgeous. America, if you can't tell. Okay? So at this
It
time,
looks like an upside down cat.
we had like this, right? And we know we had the North and the South. What was the North called? Union. Okay? But I'm noticing here it says that the election of 1860 of Lincoln winning, it caused the Deep South to leave the Union. So not only was our country divided, North and South, the South also was divided. So then there became this division where this was the Deep South and this was the Upper South. So thinking about Deep South and the Upper South, are there any connections between the Deep South and the Upper South? They're both the South, meaning what?
They still both have slavery.
They still both have slavery. They're still connected with slavery. So Deep South and Upper South still have legal slavery. But what about a distinction between them? Is there a distinction, Jacob?
The upper south stayed in the
Say that again.
Union. The upper south stayed in the Union.
Upper South. Stayed in the Union. Following election of 1860. Now, I look at this graphic organizer and I definitely feel like I've analyzed this article with its connections and their distinctions between ideas, individuals, and events. I can tell that I understand this a lot better. I feel like I really dug in to understand those different ways that people were thinking, how those ideas connected them, or how those ideas did not connect them. How the events led to different ideas and how those were connected. But we're going to look at some questions that might make more sense when applying this standard. So I want you guys to take out those questions that we passed out.